Good morning, students. Today I will continue the writing task, writing an analytical paragraph which is having word limits of 100 to 120 words, and it will be based on your outline data, chart, cues, or one of two question is to be answered. It means you will get one choice of article along with the writing paragraph. Okay, so let's start the paragraph which already I have prepared for you. This is the pie chart paragraph, and the question is, the chart below shows how much money is spent in the budget of different sectors by the UAE government in the year 2000. Okay, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. So this is your question, and this is the diagram in which they have given some data. This black color shows here health and personal social service, and where they are spending 53 billion AED. This is the currency of your United Arab Emirates, and which is generally known as the dirham. Here with the pink color they are spending 17 billion on law and order, 38 billion on education, 13 billion on industry and agriculture employment, then 22 billion on defense, 23 billion on other expenditure, 23 billion on debt interest, then 15 billion on housing heritage environment, and the maximum amount 100 billion they are spending on the social security. So before I'll start this writing task, first let me to explain some instruction which is very important for you. The basic instruction for the paragraph writing or the graph writing is identify the type of graph. It means whatever type of question has been given in your question, you have to identify it clearly. That either you are going to explain the line graph, the cue chart, the bar diagram, or what they are asking. Then second is related with your intro. You need only 2 or 3 sentences to describe the type, title, date and scale of the graph. So need not to mention the introduction, especially you have to paraphrase the question. Instead of writing introduction, you have to paraphrase the question here. Okay, and you have to decide the limit. Don't cross the limits. Third point, you must report what you have. It means whatever they are asking in your question, whatever data they have provided for you, you have to prepare your note, or you have to write the paragraph based on that information. Need not to add any information from your own side, own behalf. How to start the paragraph or how to explain it, how you will go with further explanation, like the graph shows, the chart depicts, the chart illustrate, the line graph demonstrate the information regarding whatever information they are giving regarding this or that information you have to mention. But if your question is coming in a passive version, then you have to write the information regarding this or blah 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 has been depicted or illustrated, demonstrated in the graph or the chart, like this. Okay. Afterward, you have to go with your body paragraph. Body paragraph, it means the main paragraph, bottom lines. You need to describe the factual graph. If there is more than 2 graphs, then only you can bring in the comparison between them. But don't go beyond fact. Again, here I have mentioned that whatever information has been given in your graph, you have to explain that only. You have to elaborate that only. Don't cross the information. Don't cross the limits of information. Then last, be prepared for your vocabulary. Generally, vocabulary related with your data or graph is quite different. So you have to use the vocabulary. Suppose if they are asking about the line graph vocabulary, it is also known as the time graph vocabulary. Percentage vocabulary like 1/3, 1/4, half. This type of word you have to use for the percentage vocabulary. And then process vocabulary. Suppose further processing, or we are just proceeding further, this type of words you have to prepare for your writing paragraph. Okay, now I have already paraphrased this question and written here, the pie chart illustrates the national expenditure of the United Arab Emirates 2000. Generally speaking, the UAE government spent over 300 billion United Arab Emirates dirham AED on different sectors, and the highest proportion of that expenditure went in ensuring the social security of citizens. So, afterward, the body paragraph. As is given in the diagram, the UAE government spent more than 300 billion AED in the different sectors in the year 2000. Okay. Social security for the citizens cost the highest budget, and it was exactly 100 billion AED. Health and personal social services, on the other hand, required more than 50 billion, and this was the second largest budget money allocation for the UAE government in the year 2000. The UAE authority used 38 billion for education, 17 billion for law and order, 13 billion for job, industry and agriculture. Defense sector cost them 22 billion, and which was the slightly lower than the debt interest the government paid in this year. Okay. Now you have to change the para. For that you have to left the line. Again I am mentioning here, whenever you are changing the para, please left one line afterward. Okay. As far as we can see, housing, heritage and environment got 15 billion, which was nearly the same as it was allocated for law and order. Finally, 9 billion was spent on the transport sector and 23 billion for other sectors, and which are not specifically mentioned in the pie chart. It means clearly they haven't mentioned where they are spending this other expenditure. Okay. At last, if you have to conclude it, sum up, then you have to sum up or bind up any of the information in a very limited words. Here also again I am highlighting or mentioning it that need not to write more than 2-3 lines. First of all, every paragraph writing is not asking for the conclusion. So if you are not concluding them, you are binding them in para, no worries. But if you are separately going to conclude them, please conclude them in 2 or 3 lines only. The following data conclude that the government paid overhead to ensure social security compared to the other aspect of the country. So this is the finishing or end up of this para. After that you will get the question like this type of diagram also. Okay, which pictures already I have posted in group so that everybody can prepare the notes. Okay, this type of diagram you will get, and you have to write the paragraph for bar diagram also. Then third question, which is based on the table chart. Table chart information you will get like that. And then the flow chart. Here I have prepared the flow chart while writing the name, but instead of name, during the examination time you might get the pictures or any other type of information, any building structure, any processing system, you will have the flow chart based on that also. Okay. Now last I have prepared the line graph, as you can see here. So maybe you will get the question based on the line. It's depend on the type of the question, but you have to explain it properly as I have given you instructions. Some vocabulary I am going to post for you, so please take care of those vocabulary also. Thanks.